End our part of the program, I want to, because it's Veterans Day especially, how many veterans in our audience this afternoon? Let's give them a hand. We're going to end our part of the program, and I'm not going to talk anymore after this, what I say right here, but we appreciate all of our veterans, and the song that they're going to sing last after a recitation. John's going to do a recitation by Mr. Johnny Cash. And from that recitation, it's just going to go right on into a song. It's the very last song on our newest album. The title of the album is dedicated. The title of the song is The 3 O'Clock Prayer. It's a beautiful song. John wrote the song. It's a true story. And John sings the first verse, Ben the second, and Billy the third. Listen real close to the words. It'll mean something to you. Anything else I missed? Again, thank you so much for being here this afternoon. We appreciate each one. Let's give our sound men a hand. They did a great job. We appreciate it. The Ragged Old Flag.
I was walking through a county courthouse square. By a park bench, an old man was sitting there. He said, I said, your old courthouse is kind of run down. He said, no, it'll do for our little town. I said, well, the old flagpole is leaned a bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging from it. He said, have a seat, so I sat down. He said, is this your first time through our little town? I said, I think it is. He said, now we don't like to brag, but we're mighty proud of that ragged old flag. You see, it got that little hole right there when Washington carried it across the Delaware. And it got powder burn the night Francis Scott Key said, watching it, writing, oh say can you see. It got a bad rip down in New Orleans with Packingham and Jackson tugging at its seams. And it almost fell at the Alamo beside the Texas flag, but it waves on. It took a bad hit at Chancellorsville. It took another one down at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg. The south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. At Flanders Field in World War I, she took a big hole from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II and hung limp and low a time or two. She's been in North Korea, Vietnam, Kuwait, Iraq, Afghanistan. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. She waves on our ships upon the briny foam, but they've just about stopped waving her back here at home. See, in her own good land, she's been abused, burned, dishonored, and denied, refused. And the government for which she stands is scandalized throughout the land. And she's getting threadbare and wearing thin. But she's still in good shape for the shape that she's in. Because she's been through the fire before, and I believe she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, take her down every night, never let her touch the ground, and we fold her upright. On second thought, I guess I do like to brag, because we're mighty proud of that ragged old flag. On a cold barren hillside, on a foreign campaign, the troops were surrounded and the shells fell like rain. The flag had been shot down, men's spirits hung low. They hid in their foxholes while shots rained below. The old captain knew that their danger was real. If the men could not rally, they'd die on that hill. They needed a hero to raise up the flag. If they could but hold out for the darkness of night, the captain called out for a man with no fear. Then a young man from Boston said, I'll volunteer. But sir, there's no need to hold out until dark. I'll raise up our banner at 3 o'clock sharp.
When he heard the bell toll in the village below, he climbed up the hillside to the battered old pole. With mortars exploding, bullets striking the ground, he raised up a new flag, then started back down. With Old Glory flying, men raised a great cheer. Their comrades' great valor had erased all their fear. They charged down the hillside, their backs to the sun. The enemy routed and the victory won.
The captain cried out, son, you should have been killed. There must have been angels all over that hill. But the soldier said, wait, sir, I'm not really brave, and I'm not the hero of this win today. See, my mother works hard in a factory all day. When her shift is over, she kneels down to pray. And that's why I waited for the clock to strike 3. 'Cause I knew that my mother was praying for me. Ooh.